in from Baptist Church.
Good morning, all, and welcome to the WIOA Training Academy Module number 4. Today, we will be presenting the Individual Employment Plan and Individual Service Strategy information, or IEPs and ISSs. Please sign in and put your name and region in the chat box. This meeting is being recorded. And here's a hint for today. For today's contest, pay careful attention to the skit. Our question will be centered based on the information presented there. Now, sit back and enjoy as Miss Annette Huey and April Turner share information with us on IEPs and ISSs. Annette, you want to take it?
Thanks. Thanks, Nancy. Good morning, everyone. We're excited about giving our best as presented to you today, the Individual Employment Plan and Individual Service Strategy. If you're like me, when I first was introduced to workforce, I was like, what is an IEP and what is an ISS? And I started asking myself a ton of different questions, such as, what is an IEP and an ISS? Why are they necessary? How are they completed? Where am I going to find all this information? And when are they updated? An IEP, the Workforce Innovation Opportunity, requires that all adults and dislocated workers be provided an assessment and an IEP. The IEP, of course, identifies the employment plan as well as the appropriate achievement objective of that individual. The contents of the IEP is a roadmap and a compass that will demonstrate the agreement between the participants' need and their employment goal. Also, the IEP is used as a justification for the training, which must be linked to an occupation in demand or in a local area or where an individual is willing to relocate. Remember, an IEP is a living document, and when there's a change within the plan, it must be updated or use a modification. If you'll notice at the end of the screen, Teagle 1916 is very resourceful when it comes to completing this document. What is the ISS? The Individual Service Strategy. It's very similar to the IEP. Each youth in Title I requires that all youth completes an ISS. The contents of the ISS, just like the IEP, it's a roadmap and a compass demonstrating what the individual need is, and the barrier, the action plan that will be taken. As well, it is a living document and it must be updated or modified. Why are they necessary? They're necessary because the IEP and the ISS represents the participant's voice and it shows forth their needs. We have to make sure in documenting that the information that the participant has provided is accurate. We might have to make sure that it is relevant to the question that's being asked. And we don't want to use our tone in documenting. It's whatever the need of the participant. Who is responsible for completing these documents? Who's responsible for the IEP? Who's responsible for the ISS? And where does this information, how is it going to be completed? Well, it is a joint effort that is taken by the participant and the case manager. The case manager is responsible. The participant is responsible. It is a joint effort. They're pulling information from other documents, from other sources, and the career planner is asking relevant questions to assist the participant in thinking through whatever has been asked in the different sections of the form. The summarized work experience on the IEP and the ISS. The summarized work experience. For sure, it provides, it is the section here is that the individual is supposed to provide their previous work history. It is supposed to capture, this information can be captured or should be captured from the application or during the assessment period when you're speaking with the participant. The IEP should be completed with the participant. It is a joint effort again. The IEP or the ISS it is not a solo document. It is a joint effort with the case manager and the participant. Again, we have to make sure that we ask relevant questions based on the information that the participant has provided on the different forms that we have received. We have to compare what is being placed or what is being recorded or what has been documented in the application, in the assessment, to make sure that the participant voice is being heard and that if it's any barriers or any needing to be addressed. The summarized educational experiences and achievements. This information can be taken from the high school diploma, and it, of course, is a in-school youth. We use the TABE test. It can be taken from a transcript, any college work, or a degree. The summarized educational experience and achievement, again, it's based, all of this information is coming from the participant. When we look at the strengths and the interests of the participants for the IEP, we want to make sure that, again, we're asking relevant questions. What are you good at? A lot of times people are very modest or shy and very reserved. So therefore, we have to pull this information from them. And it's hard for us to disclose, especially in our weakness. So we're very uncomfortable. A lot of us, most of us, all of us at some point are uncomfortable when we talk about things that we struggle with. So as a career planner or anyone working, any front staff, individuals working with participants, with individuals, we have to make sure that we're able to approach them in a manner that they're comfortable with and that they're willing to share. And it's a lot of times in asking the right question, it's the things that an individual will not say that you have to listen for, that you can just kind of prick a little bit to see if they will disclose. So we have to make sure that we ask relevant questions. And when it comes to the strengths and the weaknesses, we found that the website that's been listed, that mynextmove.org, is a very resourceful website that we can refer the participants to, that they can look at to help them think through the process to come up with some ideas as far as their weakness and strength. And what are their hobbies? A lot of times people will say, well, at this age, I don't have any hobbies, or I'm not really sure. And we, if they're non-traditional individuals coming in after high school or after in the late 30s, 40s, or whatever, we just kind of have to help them through the process. And the potential pathways. The potential pathways. What are the participants' employment goals? A lot of times people are not sure what they want to do, especially non-traditional individuals that are returning back to the workforce. So we have to give them guidance or give them during the assessment, make sure that they're precise in what they want to do and what type of worker they're looking for. Of course, if we had a truck driver, we want to put them as a receptionist, if someone wanted to come in for CDL training, or if we had a clerical worker, we would want to make them a janitor. So we have to make sure that we place them in a work experience that's something that's relevant to them, something of their interest. So we have to make sure that they tell us what type of work they want to do. Unfortunately, on these days and times, a lot of people just want to work to earn money. So we have to put them in something of their interests. Now it is my pleasure to pass the mic on to my co-host, Ms. April Turner.
Good morning, everyone. Happy St. Patty's Day. We're going to continue with this and everything. Annette, you want to go to the next slide, please? With an IEP and an ISS, you need to be listing the long-term and the short-term goals for these participants. The long-term goals could be that they're going to go to training, and then they're going to get a job, and then they're going to go to work. And then their short-term goals, which could be many more. One has to be your MSGs, and then they could be small ones like registering for a class. You may be referring them to adult ed or rehab or something like that. That would be a short-term goal, is for them to go to that place and set up a meeting to be interviewed by them. Going to a work site and meeting the employer. These are all short-term goals, and sometimes they're big steps, especially with young people who have never been in the workforce. Going to someone strange to speak about a job sometimes can be intimidating. And so these are short-term goals that they can be successful at and be proud that they were able to do it. And then successfully completing that work experience or that training. These are all short-term goals. There are many, many more that can be set, but this kind of gives them something to they're kind of like baby steps for them. And it helps them to meet their ended success. Okay, go on to the next one, Annette. Barriers and overcoming them. Everyone has a barrier somewhere in their life, and especially our clients, because they come in and they may have lots of them. And here is just a list of a few that you may have. So when you're speaking with them, with the participant, they may not have put something on the application. They may not have put something on the assessment. Just speaking to them, though, you may pick up something just from the conversation of a barrier that they have. And these can be listed in your ISS or your IEP and how you're going to overcome them, because people don't like to talk about their problems. And so just listening sometimes helps to see what they are in need of and how you can help them. Okay, Annette, go to the next one. Okay, these services you have to have in AJL for participation, because if you don't, they won't have a participation date. Eligibility determination is for adult dislocated worker and youth. Initial assessment is for adults and dislocated workers. And this is where you start your IEPs by getting some of the information that is needed. And same thing for eligibility determination, because you've got the application and all the documents needed for that. Then you have an objective assessment, which is for youth. And it's basically the same thing. Then you have the IEP for adults and dislocated worker, and the ISS is for the youth. These services are needed to be able to have a participation, and if you don't have a participation date, they're not included in your performance. Okay, Annette, go to the next. These are other services that can be listed and can be enrolled in for career services that are available. You don't have to do them all, and you may do some more than once, because some of these are transactional services, which means you put them in and you take them out. These are for different services that you may see that your participant is needing. And when you do this, you're not only putting it in as a note, you're also modifying your IEP or ISS with what you are putting them in. So anytime you put them in a new service that affects their plan, you need to put that in their plan as a modification. And it will also be a new IEP or a new ISS done as a transactional service on the date that you give them a new service. Annette, go ahead. MOUs, method of understanding. This is for the 14 program elements for youth. MOUs are developed with partners to assist with providing the 14 program elements. You may have many partners or many entities that can help you in your community with helping these young youth be able to meet their goals. And you need to be trying to develop relationships with them and the MOUs with them. And this will get them more of a chance to be able to meet their goals if they know that there's more people out there in the community to help them. So this is really important. Annette, go ahead. "14 program elements for the ISS, and you have to answer each of these for each element. Why is this element needed? Is this something that the participant needs, or is it just something that if it's not needed, you just put NA? But if it is needed, then you need to say what that participant is needing for that element. Who will provide the element and how? If it's you, if it's another partner, if it's another entity, you list who's going to be providing it and how and what they're going to be doing and how they're going to be providing it. And then you can then refer the youth to that entity and try to follow up with that youth if they are being helped by that program or by that entity. Then you will be co-enrolling them. And then both of you at the same time, like adult ed or rehab, both of y'all are helping this person at the same time, which benefits them doubly. So it's a big help to have other agencies and other programs and other partners helping you at the same time to meet the goals for these people. Go ahead, Annette. Supportive services. These are some supportive services that are available. Most of them are transactional services because you're just going to do it that day. Others, like transportation, may be ongoing. But all these services, if you see a participant that is in need to be able to meet their goal and they have obstacles in their way that you can help them with, these may be some supports that you can give to them, and that will help them meet that goal and be able to be successful. Because especially in times right now with finances, some of these things, some people just cannot afford, and to be able to go to school and or even work experience, to be able to get there, or to be able to buy clothes that are needed for that job. They may need a pair of glasses because they can't see what they're doing. These are really important things to help these people through, and especially in hard times like we're in right now. Annette, go ahead. Referrals and co-enrollment. Based on what you're given in your application and your assessments and your IEPs and ISSs and your discussion with the participant, do they need any referrals or any guidance from another partner, another entity, us being enrolled as a WIOA Title I participant? And if so, you may be enrolling them in a co-enrollment or partner provided service, or you may enroll them under us. But try to use every option you have out there to help this person, because everything that they can get to help them will help them succeed. And you need to be making sure that in your IEPs and ISSs that you are notating every referral, every co-enrollment, who you've sent them to, why you've sent them there, the outcome of it. Did the participant go? If they did, who did they speak with? And what was their outcome with it? Are they going to get help from them, or are they not? So this is real helpful for you to be able to plan what to do with them in the future. Annette, go ahead. Okay, this is probably going to be new to some people. Using a case note to update or modify an ISS or IEP. If you have a email from a participant, or if you have a text message or something like this, as long as you're putting that in the case note, you're writing it on a piece of paper, you're printing off that email, which shows what you're doing, be it a support, the person calls and says, I need help with gas. And you say, okay, this is a change to your IEP. You would attach the email to your IEP that shows the change. It also shows the date the participant asked for the help. The case manager will sign it. If the participant comes in and verbally tells you, you can write it on a piece of paper and have the participant also sign it. But if you cannot, if the email address is theirs, then that is your signature. Once you have that and you attach it to your IEP, this will save a step, because you're going to have to put it in your case note anyway. You're going to have to enroll them in that support. So this saves a step because you also already have it there and you're not having to do a separate form for the modification. Then you enter another IEP service as a transactional service the same day that you put them in the new support service to acknowledge the change to the plan. So every time you put them in a change in a service that is changing their plan, such as a support, you're helping them with something, they're being referred to a new agency, you are going to enroll them in a new service, and then you're also going to enroll them in an IEP as a transactional service again. So you would put them in and take them out just like you do your supportive service. You would also attach whatever document you have, be it the case note or the email, or however you know that they have to have this change done. You would attach that to your IEP for your update or your modification. And this is going to save a step in not being so redundant in your paperwork. It will help a lot with speeding things up for that participant. Okay, go ahead, Annette. Reminders. The IEP and the ISS should always be completed with the participant. This is not a form that is used the same for everyone. It is not our decision what the participant is needing or wanting. It is theirs. This is their voice. This is them telling us what they want. And we need to make sure and listen to them. Don't criticize them about it. Don't put anything in it that they haven't said. Just let the document be them. So make sure that you speak with them. Don't just take an application and say, oh, well, this person's wanting to do this and this, and you make it up. Because both of you have to sign it, which means both of you have worked on it, made the plans, and have agreed and moved forward with it. And once again, these are living documents. They are changing all the time. So just remember that it is not do it in the beginning and turn it in when they're exited. It needs to be modified and updated the whole time, because you're modifying, updating your participant the whole time they're in it. So let's make sure that we make it as living as they are. Okay, Annette, go to the next one. Okay, we got some fun for y'all. There's going to be a $25 electronic gift card given by NWAEDD today. And our wonderful Heather Pipkin and Liz Smith is going to present a skit that is going to kind of play out with a participant and a case manager. And so I think y'all will enjoy this. I think it will kind of help you understand this. So make sure you listen carefully, because we're going to have a question at the end. And that's when you're going to have the opportunity. Once we find a winner, then I will get the winner's email address and I will send out the electronic gift card to them. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this PowerPoint. If you have any questions, please ask, as there may be things that we may have not covered in this. And Heather and Liz, y'all take it away. This is going to be fun.
Before we turn our cameras on, thank you, April, Annette, that was great. There's going to be a role play over IEP, but I wanted to talk about the ISSs and the 14 program elements for a second. There are some program elements that us as career advisors cannot provide. So that is the reason we have the memorandums of understandings with the partners. That way we can refer and we can document them providing the service to our participants. I know the program elements is a struggle. So with a lot of us, so I just wanted to make sure that, everyone knew that is the reason we had the memorandum of understandings for the youth program elements. This skit with Liz and myself, we are doing a role play. Now, this right here is not something for you guys to live by when you're completing your IEPs and ISSs. This that we're doing is to show how to build a relationship with your participant and how to get some information from the participant, and fun. The key word is fun. So I hope you guys enjoy what Liz and I are fixing to do. Liz, are you ready?
Crystal chandelier is ready. Yes.
Oh, so is Miss Charity Case. How are you doing, Miss Lear?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. I love your hair.
Oh, thank you. I love yours.
So, you were determined eligible for the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and yes, are you so excited?
I am. I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad. We are so looking forward to working with you. So there's some things that I wanted to go over so we can complete your employment plan. Are you good with that today? Do you have time to go over this with me today?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Do you have any work experience? I noticed on your application you don't have any listed.
Well, I really haven't worked that much, so I guess I don't have any. Is that bad?
No, that's not bad, but we're gonna find the gray area in this, okay?
Okay.
So, you have a child, right?
Yes, ma'am. A 2-year-old.
Oh, that's so sweet. Boy or girl?
It's a boy. He's a
Oh,
boy.
yeah. He's one. That's awesome. Wait a minute. You just said he was 2.
He's 2. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, y'all this week. So you have experience in childcare. You take care of your child, you have full custody of your child. So, you sit with your child and you work with your child every day. So, you have some experience in childcare.
I taught him his alphabet. Yes, ma'am.
You taught him his alphabet?
Yes,
at
ma'am.
2? That's amazing. He's going to be so smart.
He is. I'm so excited.
That's great. So, there's a little bit of childcare you have in there because you have your own child. Work experience is not just paid work experience. There's some things that you do that is unpaid.
Okay.
Like, have you volunteered anywhere before?
Yes, actually, I have at Help and Hope. It's a clothing store for homeless people.
Awesome. See, what did you do there?
I helped to like stack the boxes and I put like clothing into boxes.
Great. So, see, you do have work experience.
I didn't know because I didn't get paid for it. So
Work experience isn't completely paid work experience. It could be volunteer work. It could be some things that you do at home. Have you ever, help your daddy work in the yard or work on a vehicle or something? It's things like that. It's not just paid. So, you have work experience. We're going to document that. So, education. What kind of education do you have?
So I don't want to tell you.
Oh, it's fine. I'm going to be honest with you. I dropped out of high school when I was 14 years old, and I did not go back to school until I was 27. So,
Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, I dropped out of high school at 17. I only had 1 year left, but I just felt like I couldn't do it. I wanted to chase my dreams of being an artist. It just, didn't work out. So
it didn't work out. So have you ever thought about going back to school and getting your GED to kind of help? That way you can take some college classes for the artist thing and try to pick it back up?
Yes, yeah, I would love to get my GED and then go to art school or have some type of art background, because I feel like I'm really good at drawing. Like that is one of I've entered into contests.
Really? Do you have some artwork you'd like to show?
Actually, I do. I've been working on this one today. It's not completely finished, but yeah, I would love to show you.
Yes, please.
Are you excited? Look at the detail.
I am. I love the headphones and the music coming out of the headphones. That's, yeah, that's great. That looks great.
Yeah. I've entered contests. I haven't won any yet, but I would like to go and get my GED and, go back to school. Yes, ma'am.
Just say, wow, you're really good at this. GD classes, I'm sorry, y'all. GD classes, you can do them online. You can actually show up to class and do them like during the day or in the evening. That way, you can work on your GD at the same time. Which one would you like to do?
Well, I don't have, see, the thing is I have full custody of my son, so I don't have childcare. So I have to watch my son he's actually taking a nap right now. So if I could do online, that would be better.
Yeah, do you have internet service at home to where you're able to do it online?
Yeah, it's not my house. We're actually staying with a friend of mine, but yes, they have internet service.
Awesome. That would be great. Now, as far as childcare, have you thought about going to DHS and signing up for transitional employment assistance to assist with childcare?
No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes. So I would like to refer you over to DHS so you can do that. I would also like to refer you over to Adult Ed so you can get signed up in their GD program to do it online. Now, while we're doing all of this, we have a work experience program. And, with you living with someone and, unemployed and all of that, I think the work experience program will kind of help you out as well as you doing your online GED classes. So is that something that you think you'd be interested in?
Absolutely. That sounds so exciting.
Well, that's great. So we're going to get you signed up with DHS to see about the child care with T. And, if we can't get you child care through other partner programs, then we have a supportive service that we could assist with child care. So that's not going to be an issue. So what kind of strengths do you have? Let's figure out where we want to place you at in work experience. So what kind of strengths?
Strength, probably like 15 to 20 pounds, maybe a little bit more. Are you talking about like lifting?
I'm glad you can lift 15 to 20 pounds. You're probably doing better than I am. But no, your strengths, what are you good at? What are you good at?
Okay. So besides drawing, I feel like I'm a very honest person. I feel like I'm very trustworthy. I'm always on time. I'm never late.
So how do you like working with people? I know with the artist thing, you're kind of like by yourself a lot because you're drawing, but do you like working with people, or would you like rather find something that you're more to yourself?
I think that I'm kind of an extroverted introvert. Ugh, I know that sounds crazy, but I kind of like working with people and I kind of like being by myself. So maybe a little bit of both, maybe a healthy balance.
Okay.
And I'm really good with teamwork too. I work better with a team.
You work better with a team.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what kind of occupations with your strengths and your interests, or what you're good at, what kind of occupation do you see yourself doing, other than the art piece?
Yeah, so I see myself maybe working like as a hostess or in a hotel, maybe, helping people get into their rooms, booking. I'm good at booking stuff. I'm good with Excel. I'm sorry, I can't think of anything else.
You're really good at a lot of things. I'm glad to hear that. So, just some occupations, like would you concierge at a hotel? You clerical work as an office assistant, answering phones. There's so many choices out there that you have. So I see you like helping people and you like working with people. So have you ever thought about, like going into a place to where like the business is actually helping people? Like we have a work site. Yeah. You know, they got the utility assistance, you know, you could be in there. There's, you know, Department of Human Services, you know, there's so many places that likes helping people. Or are you just stuck on the hotel doing concierge or something like that?
No, I mean, I just want to help people and I like working in a team because if I, you know, not good at something or I don't want to do something, maybe the team member can pick it up, you know. Just having somebody there who has my back. I like that.
Well, I like the having your back thing, but I think, you know, someone having your back is helping you, not doing it for you. So,
I see what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yes, there will be a supervisor there to assist and to guide you to do the right things. So far, this has been a really interesting talk. So, at your long-term goal, what do you see yourself doing 5 years from now?
Oh my goodness. Of course, I'd love to be married to a rich man.
You and me both.
But you know, if that doesn't happen, I just want to have a stable job where I can provide for my son. And so just a stable job would be good, like have my GED and be in a career.
And you know, that sounds good. So, okay, we're going to get you registered with your GED. I'm echoing. We're going to get you registered with your GED. We're going to start you in work experience. Hopefully, you know, you can get your GED in like a 3 month span or so. And I would like, you know, to discuss with you about going to college, you know, maybe to push for that art degree. That way you can be, what do you call those little animated characters? You know, you can draw animated characters. Your little man there looked like a really good animated character. I think that's something that, you know, you would enjoy doing. So how about 5 years from now, you can see yourself as an artist getting
Absolutely.
paid, you know, so, you know, we can get to the steps to there. So your short-term goals to get there would be, you know, registering for adult ed, signing up at DHS for the T program. And we'll work on that and we'll get along there. And I also see on your application that you're homeless. You know, I noticed I know you said you live with a friend for right now. And you know, we would like to help you and your son get into your own place. So, you know, I think that would be a great goal as well.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that. We were living at my mother's house, but when she got out of prison, I went to pick her up. It was raining and I was in my pickup truck. And before I got there, she got ran over by a train. So um, it's a difficult moment for me, but we were living with her and now we're not. We're living with my friend because the house got shut down. So anything that, you know, you guys can do to help me with that, that would be awesome.
That's what we are here for. We will help you every way that we can. We do require that you participate and keep in touch. If anything changes, you know, you let us know. But yes, we are here to help. And our goal is to assist you in meeting your goal. So it was great meeting with you, and I really enjoyed this. And so we're going to start on the steps of getting you where you need to be so we can get you at your long-term goal.
Thank you, Miss Charity Case. I really appreciate you. It was so nice to meet you today.
You too, Miss Crystal Chandelier. Thank you. That was awesome. I tried my best not to laugh, but you made it so hard. Somebody's got rest in peace, Grandma Chandelier.
Thank you, everybody, for being a part of that and that skit. It was just a fun little thing that Heather and I wanted to do, and we do have a question. So here is the question for you to get the gift card. Whoever answers it correctly first, and gets the gift card. So the question is, what were the barriers of Chandelier? And who should Chandelier be referred to in order to meet those barriers? So, yeah, go ahead, Heather.
The first one in the chat box wins. And while y'all are chatting, I see someone said, remember to register for WIOA first. Well, at the beginning of the skit, you know, the statement was made, you have been approved for WIOA services and we would like to continue with your employment plan. So that piece was announced there first. But yes, everyone has to register and be approved for WIOA first.
And Julie had a good question here. She said, Mom was in prison. Was a participant ever in foster care? So that's a good question to ask. We were doing this for adults, but that's always a good question
Yes.
to ask. So great job, Julie. Okay, we are going to give this just a few more, about 3 minutes to let you guys answer this. And then we will log off of here. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, Margaret's got her hand up. Margaret, you have a question? Please.
Yeah, going back to the modification and using case notes and stuff like that, if they use the case notes in AJL, you'd said that it needed to be signed by the case manager, but since they have to log into AJL, it has their name on there of who put that case note in. Would that work, or would they still need to print it off and sign it?
Well, it needs to be printed off and attached to the IEP or ISS in the file.
Right, but
Yes.
does the case manager need to sign it since their name's on there? That's what I'm asking.
No, the signing piece is the piece of paper.
Okay, just making
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't hurt. They have to print it off anyway, you know, just to cover. But you know, I'm like you know, they log into AJL and their name is on it, so you know it shows that it is them.
Well, we've gotten quite a few answers here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and log off. Everybody, thank you for being here today. We will see you for module 5. And we'll let you know when that comes up. Everybody have a great day.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Great job.
Thanks. Great work, everybody. Thanks.
Thank y'all.